Okay, I guess I've teased you long enough. We all know why people flock to this area today. It's that 32 miles of sugar white sand and the beautiful Gulf of Mexico. Even though Gulf Shores and Orange Beach host millions of visitors every year today, tourism here really started out as more of a local thing. People from Mobile and other nearby areas would come for the day or even a week or two. Because there weren't any roads that went out to the beach, the locals would haul them out to the beach by boat and then pick them up when it was time to leave. And you gotta love this one, but most people considered the oceanfront land to be unusable. Practically all of the local folks lived on what was called the ridge on the inland side of Little Lagoon. Then a real estate investor by the name of George Meyer saw the potential. The first time he came here, he was shocked that there wasn't a road to the beach. He really pushed for the infrastructure or systems needed to develop the area. You're going to see his name around here a lot. He must have been a really generous guy. By 1949, it was obvious to Governor Jim Folsom and a lot of other people what potential this area had. He officially proclaimed it Pleasure Island, and he was so right. There are so many things to do here, and most of them revolve around the Gulf and its beaches. Here's a tip for you if you plan to visit the Gulf Shores Orange Beach area. Respect the wildlife and the environment. Just like we all should, they take nature very seriously around here. You'll see informative signs and even warning signs that help visitors to understand the significance of nature in this coastal community. Like, for instance, who would have thought you needed special permission to build based on how your building might impact the Alabama beach mouse? Or the warnings not to take clay-based soil anywhere near the beach. Remember to stay off the beach grasses. They protect the shifting shores of the Gulf. Enjoy the birds and the fish, but respect their role in nature too. And as part of the global community, remember, this is a popular spot for sea turtles to come ashore and lay their eggs. I guess the best advice I can give is come and enjoy the area, respect it while you're here, and leave it just like you found it. That way, you and the Gulf Coast nature will get along just fine. Remember, there's 32 miles of beautiful sugar white sand here, and that means fun for everyone. If you're really adventurous, you could learn how to waveboard. Just look for the youngest people on the beach, and they'll teach you how to do it. There's also full-fledged surfing, parasailing, jet skis. The list goes on and on. If you're a little less adventurous, you could search through the 400 different kinds of shells that are native to this area. I'm sure you'll find just the right one to keep as a souvenir. If you're someone who likes a good laugh and you're not freaked out by that old Hitchcock movie, I've got another idea. If you're bored in Gulf Shores and you feel like you have no friends, just take some bread to the beach. Whoa! Just take some bread to the beach and you'll have plenty of friends. Some of these guys can just take it right out of the sky. Never hits the ground at all. If you're more the creative type, there's always sand art. If you're in that certain mood, there's always this. And if you're just amazed at the natural beauty of our planet, people flock to the beach every day for this. Hey, is anybody else getting hungry? Let's take a little break and talk about food. There's every kind of food you could ever want here in Gulf Shores and Orange Beach. They've got everything from burger joints to the white linen spots. You can find the simple, hey, I can make that at home type of food, or you can go to the opposite end of the hoity-toity spectrum and really treat yourself. There's always plenty of places where you can wear your t-shirt and sandals, and there's plenty of places where you might want to dress up just a little. Don't worry though, it's a beach destination, so they always want you to feel comfortable. Speaking of comfort, there's a place in Gulf Shores where visitors always want to hang out for a while. I'll give you a hint. The owner's name is Lucy. Most people call her Lulu. Still don't recognize the name? What if I said Lucy Buffett? Okay, I'll be a real name dropper. What if I mention her brother, Jimmy Buffett? You know, Cheeseburger in Paradise, Come Monday, Margaritaville. Well, Jimmy was born in Mobile, and his sister Lulu has one of the neatest spots in the area. It's really laid back, and lots of fun for the whole family. You never know who might be doing a Buffett song, and you can always find that cheeseburger. Since we're here in one of the seafood capitals of the world, I'm thinking seafood. You know, something that used to swim right out here in the Gulf. But I need to do some research to find my kind of spot. The spot where all the locals eat. That's what I like. Seems like a lot of the locals head to a spot on Wolf Bay called Docks. When you drive up, you know it's not going to be hoity-toity at all. That was confirmed as soon as I walked in the front door. They treat you like family, whether it's your first visit or your 100th. I like that. It makes me feel like I'm hanging out with friends. Speaking of friends, a friend back home who's from the Gulf Coast said I had to have a shrimp po' boy. It's one of those local foods that people crave when they move away. She also told me that if you call it a poor boy, they'll know for sure that you're a visitor. Nobody from around here would say it like that. Hey, this is really good. Why do they call it a po' boy?
Oh, we don't call it a poor boy. We call it a shrimp loaf. That's our local terminology here.
Okay, but if you're going to be really serious about language, it's actually a poor boy, but it gets shortened to po' boy.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and you guys don't call it that at all.
No,
it's a shrimp loaf.
A shrimp loaf, yeah.
Okay, do you call this Diet Coke?
Yes, we do call that Diet Coke.
Okay, and you call this coleslaw?
Yes, we do. Homemade coleslaw.
Everything was great, and I kept asking Cindy, the waitress, a lot of questions. So first thing you know, I'm back in the kitchen talking to the cooks about shrimp po' boys. David and Gail gave me a full lesson on how to create the perfect po' boy. This is Dave Schwartz. He's the owner-manager here at Docks, and he's going to take us through making my po' boy.
The first thing I would do is I would go ahead and start toasting your bun because it takes a little longer to toast.
And I think Gail, is that her name?
Yeah.
Gail has it on the what's it called?
The flat top.
Gail has it on the flat top here as we speak.
Well, the first thing you start out with is 3640 shrimp.
What do you mean 3640?
Well, that's how many they say are in a pound at this size. So there's about 36 to 40 of these in a pound. So that's what that means. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to get about 7 to 8 shrimp depending on their size. And we're going to just drop them in this flour real quickly.
Anything special about the flour?
Just your regular old store-bought flour, self-rising white flour, nothing special to it, no additives whatsoever. Then we'll just mix these shrimp up here in this flour and get them coated real nice and evenly on all sides. Then I will take the shrimp and I will dump them in our egg wash.
And what does that do?
The egg wash, what it happens is when I put it back in here, I'll be able to put a double batter these shrimp, and they look nicer, they have a better taste to them that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're actually sort of ugly little suckers before you cook them, aren't they?
That is true. That is very true. But when I get done with them, they're very, very pretty. Now that I've got them in here, I got to coat them again in this flour. Now we're ready to go in the fryer.
Okay.
And just kind of drop them one at a time, because if you drop them all at once, they kind of come out, and you fry them. They come out looking like a loaf of bread.
Oh, like they're all stuck together.
They're all stuck together. That's right.
David let those beautiful Gulf of Mexico morsels swim around in hot oil for a few minutes until they were golden brown. Then it was time to hand this creation off to Gail for all the finishing touches. She was ready to pile it as high as I wanted to go, with cheese, tomato, lettuce, pickles, onion, you name it. I asked her to fix it the way she usually would for the local folks. I knew it was a masterpiece when we left the kitchen, but I didn't know how good it was going to be until right there. Hey, thanks to Docks for a fantastic Alabama Gulf Coast meal. There's so much to see and do here in Gulf Shores and Orange Beach. The beach might be what draws people here, but there's also 9 championship golf courses from designers like Arnold Palmer, Earl Stone, and Bruce Devlin. There's even a Gulf Shores Golf Association that'll help you make all your arrangements. Here's a tip for you. Golf is cheaper in the fall because it's not peak season. If you're a fisherman, you need to know that the Alabama Gulf Coast has the largest artificial reef program in the nation, with over 1,200 square miles of fish habitat. And listen up, divers, those artificial reefs include everything from Liberty ships to Army tanks to some pretty fishy voting machines. You can fish off a boat, off the shore, or off the second longest pier in the Gulf. And don't forget about all the protected waterways. I know you'll want to visit this area, and they've got plenty of places for you. 16,000 lodging units. Maybe you'll want a modest condo. Of course, there's always something a little bit more fancy. There's fun for the whole family. Water parks, a world-famous zoo, 21 miles of nature trails, and of course, plenty of shopping. It doesn't matter whether you're young or old, rich or poor, you will love it here in Gulf Shores and Orange Beach, the Alabama Gulf Coast. Hey, till next time, gotta go.
Diabetes has been called a silent epidemic. It's time we call it out for exactly what it is. A very serious disease that has to be stopped. This is Brett Michaels. Join us. Choose to share, act, learn, and give. Help us stop diabetes.
If you have a destination idea for Jim, or you want to check out other episodes of Jim Barnett's Gotta Go, head to jimbarnett.tv.
I love to travel, but there's no place like home. Hello, Peoria.